Welcome here to the beautiful wine cellar at Gosling's on Dundonald Street. I'm here with the marketing manager, Quincy Smith, for the Shiver Sportsmanship Award of the Week. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm here to present Dennis with the bottle of Shivers for the award. Dennis works tirelessly for the good of senior and junior cricket at Devonshire Recreation Club. He coaches, mentors, and guides his young players in the senior league and the senior league cricket team. He also sets a good example for his fellow cricketers. Dennis is the focal point for organizing junior cricket at DRC, and he is very active and supportive for all his initiatives in youth cricket across Bermuda. He has taken a day off from work to be the head coach for the under-17 East All-Star team today. Dennis, on behalf of Goslings and Shivers, we are pleased to present you with this.
Thank you.
And congratulations, job well done.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. I'd just like to thank Gosling as a sponsor for acknowledging us, and also the Bermuda Cricket Board for taking the time to acknowledge people who support cricket. I'd like to encourage others to support cricket as well, because this is the game we all love.
Excellent.
Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Good luck to Somerset Cricket Club on Sunday.
You're here in Bermuda, representing the ICC Americas. What's the purpose of your visit?
A number of different things, really. Obviously, with the departure of Coach Moore, there's a few planning issues to be looked at and looking forward. And obviously, we generally work on a 2-year cycle. 19s and ICC Americas Division 1, so it's a case of sitting down with the Bermuda board and looking at how they're going to prepare over the next couple of years for the upcoming tournaments. And obviously there's the tournament in Dubai, which obviously there's a preparation period for that. Coach education, coach mentoring, just looking really how to move the game forward over the next couple of years for not just for the players, but obviously for the quality of coaching and improving and working with the local coaches who are now going to be taking a bit more of a lead role, I guess, now David's not here. So just looking at ways of sort of improving the game moving forward and making sure that all the programs that are running at the moment, Bermuda's probably got, I'm guessing, probably the best structure at the moment throughout the Americas as an individual country, and it's just making sure that continues and keeps moving forward and the programs keep improving.
Now, you come here on the heels of the Under-19 West Indies Regional Tournament, where you had a pick of USA, Canada, and Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on the performance of the Americas group?
They did actually better than we probably would have expected, to be honest. We won a game and we tied a game. We tied with the Windwards, which was who finished up second, I think. So we bowled well. We competed with everybody bowling. We struggled batting wise. There was a glaring area of deficiency when it came to playing spin. Players not really, I don't know whether they were unaware of scoring areas and game plans, but they certainly lacked the technical capabilities to actually implement those plans. So we would do well against the new ball generally, and then the spinners would come on, one for each end. The next 10 overs, the run rate dried up, then you drop behind, then people panic and play big shots and stuff. So overall, we were quite pleased to win an entire game, but I think it depends really what happens from here. I think if players learn and we can come back and we can convince the countries that there are areas where we do lack technical and tactical awareness, then then it'll have been worth doing for sure.
Now, how can we improve? Obviously, with the assistance, we need the assistance of the West Indies, all the Americas. How do you think we can improve the strength of our playing, umpiring, scoring, the whole gamut through the assistance with hopefully the West Indies?
Yeah, it's difficult really. The West Indies, people compare our region to the other regions, and they say, they get help from the ECB and the ACB, and that's great, but they're individual countries, they're individual organisations, whereas in the West Indies, not only have they got us trying to feed from their programs as well, but they're actually got all their individual territories who are looking to the West Indies for help as well. So they sort of have a family of their own to support before they can start looking to us. I think really we're never going to get any financial support from them, and you could argue that they've got enough things to support for themselves, but It's opportunity really. It's opportunity for our umpires and coaches and scorers to be educated. It's opportunity for our young players and maybe even our senior players to play in a better standard of cricket. And just that's what we're crying out for is opportunity really. I think our guys can be cocooned a little bit in the Americas, and the 19s that we've just picked, everybody's in Toronto and everybody knows who everybody is and all the rest of it, and he's a good player and he's a good player. You go to the West Indies and all of a sudden you're playing against boys who are in a different league ultimately, and I think some of our lads realised then that actually where I thought I was as a player and where I actually am as a player, the gap is fairly wide, and I think it's just looking for opportunities for everybody in the game really down through the West Indies, whether it be from the West Indies Cricket Board or whether it be with individual territories. So if we can strike partnerships, if we can link countries up, say we link Bermuda with St Kitts or Jamaica or Barbados, and it might be two of the under-19s go from Barbados to an under-19 camp in St Kitts when the Leewoods are there. It might be we play matches and we send out one of our umpires or two of our umpires to work with that. We're constantly exploring, but it's a long road and progress is slow for sure.
Has there been any communication with the ICC Americas and the West Indies about possibly having a select team play in their 2020 regional?
Yeah, there has. We've discussed this before. The issue we have is to make a team competitive. And in the past, Canada have been and Bermuda have been, I think, and they've not been competitive. So the one thing we get all the time is by including individual countries from the Americas, it weakens the standard of their competition. And if you look at the track record of our teams when they go there, we don't have an argument for that. So if we're going to do it, we need a joint team. The issue is that in a joint team, a lot of the better players will come from Canada, obviously because they're a high performance country. And they have a pretty busy playing schedule with their Intercontinental Cup games, with their qualifiers and stuff like that. So it would be perfect if it fitted into the calendar whereby we could have the choice of Canadian players, USA and Bermuda. If we didn't have the choice of the Canadian players and it was just US and Bermuda, maybe the odd Camanian and stuff like that, I think we would be struggling with the same thing of being competitive. So in a perfect world, that's great, but it would have to fit into the calendar for us to be competitive.
Wouldn't it, I mean, initially, yeah, we've seen the weaknesses of Bermuda and Canada in the tournament, but one would say the more you play, the better you get, the stronger you become.
Yeah.
If given a chance to continue to play, would that argument hold true that eventually they will get closer?
Potentially, yes. And that's great from a development point of view, from an ICC point of view. But if you're sitting in the West Indies Cricket Board and you're trying to attract sponsors and sell television rights and stuff like that, the television companies don't want Barbados bowling Bermuda out for 20 and all of a sudden their 5 hours of coverage is now gone in an hour and a half. So they have that side of things to back up as well, and it is difficult, it is tough. Well, maybe the option might be to have an America's team at a time in the calendar that suits us when we can get them together, and maybe just arrange to play Barbados or Jamaica and try and play together rather than trying to get involved in a tournament initially. Again, let's try and link up and play some cricket against one of their better islands and stuff.
Financially, we know it's costly naturally to play anywhere.
Yeah.
Economically, how difficult is it to arrange in say, Florida?
Yeah, I mean, it's still costly. You've still got to fly people in and put them up in hotels and provide food and rent the stadium. So it's still fairly costly. There isn't really a cheap way to do it. I think it's trying to find the best way to do it. Do you ask the countries to pay? Do you ask the players to pay if they're younger players? Do we get a sponsor? It's tough. It's tough getting the money together. We have a certain amount of tournaments which we have to fund from the regional office, and that sadly doesn't leave hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars left over for stuff like that. It'd be great if somebody said to me, "Here's $1 million," we could be doing all sorts.
Right.
But unfortunately, not many people have got that sort of loose change in their pocket nowadays, especially to give away for sponsorship and stuff like that.
So, as coming from the office of the ICC Americas, what are your ambitions for the region over the next 2 years?
I think to just try and keep in place the structures that are working and try and address the areas that are lacking a little bit, really. I think we would like to see an increase in numbers of ladies playing the game. Women's cricket is a big growth area throughout the world, throughout world cricket. I think we would like to see more. We definitely would like to see a lot more people progress from playing quick cricket and softball cricket into junior hardball cricket. So getting guys, the conversion rate is not as high as we would like from, we've got thousands of people having a go at cricket, but it's getting the conversion rate for the people that stay with it and move into hardball cricket. That's a big issue. Be nice personally from my point of view, high performance. I would like to see high performance structures keep getting stronger, better quality coaching for the players, better programs, more access to coaching, more opportunities overseas and stuff like that. So just the same sort of things, but just keep persevering with them and keep constantly looking for ways to try and just increase by 1%, 2% at a time, and hopefully we'll get there somewhere near there in the end.